Look at this. Oh, wow. Why are you sneaking into hotel rooms instead of showing us ultras? You are probably asking yourselves. Hello. Welcome to Africa, everybody. This place belongs to the European Union, although it's situated on the continent of Africa. It is the enclave known as Ceuta. Ceuta. Remember Manu Chao when he was singing Mi vida la dejé entre Ceuta y Gibraltar? That's what he meant. And he essentially meant the stress and the horrors of people trying to escape Africa and come to Europe for a better life. And usually they found themselves stuck. Gibraltar being, first of all, British in Spanish soil, and second of all, the entrance to Europe. Hotel Ceuta, Puerta de Africa, gateway to Africa. Doesn't look like it, man. So what we need to find is, first of all, an ATM, and second of all, an exchange office to get some Moroccan money. This here is Hercules. It's Hercules with the two columns. The columns that represent Ceuta, this place, and Gibraltar, meaning the entrance to the Mediterranean. Our guy. Señor, ¿dónde posible cambiar? Aquí. These are very small.
Yeah, small.
50
Bismillah.
and 50.
Qui speak parle français ou speak English?
Griego.
Ah, griego. Grecia.
Yeah, Grecia.
Kardash.
Kardash is Turkish.
Yeah, Ahmed.
Ahmed, ciao. Señor, frontera por aquí, ¿no? Abajo.
Yeah, de la playa.
Playa.
Costa.
Look at the Mediterranean, man. Look at this. Morocco is all the way down there, beyond this turn, I think. We are back with the Mediterranean views. We have barbed wire for anybody who even thinks about escaping to Spain via sea. Look at Ceuta down there, man. It's kind of crazy to think about it, isn't it? That's the European Union. All of this is Africa. And this is Morocco, with all the barbed wire. And down there is the town of Fnidek, where we will stay tonight. And tomorrow I'm going to one of the places of the bucket list. So, yeah. Be patient. There's an interesting thing to consider here. I mean, I'm looking at the sea, I'm looking at the Mediterranean, and picture the map of Africa in your head, right? And then picture the map of Ceuta and the size difference, you know? This part from here onwards represents the entirety of Africa and the people who want to, reach Europe at one point. It's incredible, isn't it? Something so small. What a big gateway it represents. How are we doing, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Tangier. Look at these palm trees, man. They are not even palm trees. They are I don't know, broadcasting things. Before any of you start questioning, no, this is not the series of videos on Moroccan football. There will be a series of videos on Morocco and the immense football culture here, man. And I will make a huge effort to combine it with the neighboring countries, because it seems that the entire Northern Africa has a huge football tradition. Coming to Tangier has been a bucket list item for me, and I will explain to you why. So join me in today's video. So check this out, the silhouette of Spain is visible from here. In front of me you can see in the distance the historical center of the city. That is the Medina with the Kasbah up there on the hill. You know, rocking the Kasbah. Are you seeing the beauty of the place, man? Herbal healing marriage. You can herbal heal your marriage here. Bloody hell, man. Good morning, everybody, from Tangier. Look at this cannon, man, pointing directly to Spain, to the harbor, I mean. The vlogging gods are against us. Despite the ridiculous weather, I am very close to a place of pilgrimage. This over there is Hotel Muniria. It's the hotel where William Burroughs, during his stay in Tangier, overseeing the port, wrote The Naked Lunch. Look at our guy, man, Bill Burroughs. And look at this terrace. Is this the stuff of inspiration, man? What you reckon? I bet Tangier changed a lot since the times of Bill Burroughs. Look at this. Oh, wow. It was in a room like this. That good old Bill would peek through his window. Bill Burroughs did not spend his entire time in the hotel. There's this cafe down the road where he would meet with people like Paul Bowles, you know, The Shelter in Sky. Shelter in Sky was masterfully adapted into film by Bernardo Bertolucci.
We're not tourists, we're travelers.
Tourist is someone who thinks about going home the moment they arrive.
And with the rest of the literary gang of Tangier, and have their mint tea. Let's have a look. This here is Café de Paris. Now, Burroughs would meet Bowles here and have their mint tea, but make no mistake, the entire Tangier community would meet here. It was diplomats, politicians, it was criminals, it was plain criminals, spies even, that would meet here. Not only the literary people. I don't remember who it was that said it, but the line is like this. It was the place where half of the customers would look at the other half and invent stories about them. Now, Hotel Muniria was somewhat derelict. Check out El Minza, man. Look at this. It's in full glory. The Minza was the favorite place of people like Truman Capote, Tennessee Williams. This is the American legation building of Tangier. Check out this clock. And just like the American legation, there were legations from many other countries. Essentially all the countries that were responsible for keeping Tangier an international zone. Besides that, this legation is the only official landmark recognized by the United States outside of the United States. There is no other. Check this out, man. This was the first image that I remember from the film, The Shelter in Sky. All these luggages. Flipping hell. How on earth do we cope now with just a backpack? The Shelter in Sky, when I saw it for the first time, of the 10, more than 10 actually, was my first introduction to Africa, man. And the film is starting exactly like this, with all those luggages, you know, the burden of... As for the reason of the American-Moroccan friendship, it's very simple. Morocco was the first land to actually recognize the independent United States of America from the pesky Brits. Wow. Let me show you this, man. You won't believe it. We have ultras. Check it out, man. All these holes here are Phoenician graves. What a thing. Let's not go further, especially on a rainy day. So yeah, man, it was the Phoenicians who first established a colony here. Then there was Carthage. Then there were the Romans, Byzantium, etc. The Ottomans never reached this place. So this here is a cafe, restaurant, something like that, built in levels. Look at the view. All the good spots have been taken on a rainy day. So what's the story with Bill Burroughs? Why are you sneaking into hotel rooms instead of showing us ultras? You are probably asking yourselves. Well, the answer is simple. When I was 15, I went to the local library at my hometown in Crete, and I borrowed the masterpiece called Junkie. You see, Junkie is the only book of Bill Burroughs with a somewhat linear narrative. All the others, man, I mean, let's take, for example, the one he wrote here, Naked Lunch. He was stoned as hell, first of all. He had a huge heroin addiction problem. He was half past destroyed, you know, after the death of his wife, an accident that he caused. And with a burden like this on his back, he ended up here in Tangier, where literally everything goes at the time. You see, Tangier was an international zone back in those days of the 1950s. So here's Bill in Tangier, consumed by all the drugs he could find, and the disaster of his life, writing one of the most controversial masterpieces of the times, Naked Lunch. Essentially, it's a collection of surreal scenes that at first glance they seem to not make any sense at all. Probably you're not stoned enough when you're reading it. I don't approve of such practices, and yours truly never had problems with drugs. Let's get that in. Check out this cafe, man. What a view. But not on a rainy day. Or maybe yes on a rainy day, but with an umbrella. The word hallucination is not strong enough to describe naked lunch. All right, let's stop somewhere and drink a tea or something. I'm beat. Look at this, Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta is the Arab Marco Polo man. He traveled all over the place. Now look at this. It says best cafe in Medina. Hola, señor.
Hola, señor. Bienvenido. Esta tenemos las cosas naturales.
Esto y un té. Gracias. Sin azúcar. Esto es suficiente.
I'm sweet enough.
The great Anthony Bourdain.
Wow, this is wow. Jim Jarmusch, man. Jim Jarmusch with the proud owner. Thank you, man. Thanks a lot. Keep this. Very nice place.
Thank you for coming.
Ciao, ciao. What are you telling me, man? Baba Cafe, what a place. It's the Moroccan equivalent to a coffee shop, an Amsterdam type coffee shop, but with character. Like, and you saw, everybody loved it. I mean, Jim Jarmusch, for fuck's sake. Bourdain. Hello, sir. Hi. Everybody's a tailor here. Have you noticed how clean Tangier is, man? I mean, it's incredible. What a weather, man. I mean, come on now. So going back to our subject, it wasn't the drugs that attracted me to Junkie and Bill Burroughs, man. It was the honesty and the directness of someone who actually put his life on paper in a masterful way, you know? He talked about his addiction, his life, everything, the search for the drugs, the disasters, you know? The same way that you and me return home and tell our families how we bought oranges at the supermarket, you know? Look at this. We have good weather. I still don't trust it completely though. Anyway, let's go. I tell you what, man, Tangier is a very positive surprise. First of all, it's extremely clean and extremely taken care of, you know. That being said, it has absolutely nothing to do with the era that Burroughs and the rest of the gang were here. So yeah, no grit, no grain of the old times. But still, I'm very happy to have been. So later on today, we will be catching the shared taxi to go back to Fnidek and then cross the border to Ceuta. Our vida la dejé entre Ceuta y Gibraltar, I guess. Look at this. So this building is actually an exposition space of Ibn Battuta, the Arab Marco Polo. We will definitely visit this. So look at this, the entire Mediterranean, the Middle East, down the Red Sea, down the eastern coast of Africa. Wow. India, Ceylon. 29 years of travel, man. And I'm complaining after a year. Check it out, I actually have this book. This one here. Only read a bit of it, unfortunately. And very much unlike what we do, there were no airplanes back then. It was this, and this, or even this, I mean, this would be carried by people, right? And look at the clothing, man. I mean, I literally barely fit here. Look at this. Finally, a little bit of decay. Well done, Tangier, man. Well done. It's excellent here. Very clean. Look at this door. Look at the beauty of it. Whoa. The interzone. All the in-betweens, you know? Right. Now, let's grab one last mint tea before we leave this place. Yeah, we barely fit. Tangier is obviously a much polished version of its former self. The Tangier of Bill Burroughs definitely doesn't exist, not in Medina anyway. Also, the Tangier of Mohammed Chukri seems to not exist anymore. So if Bill Burroughs kind of represents the Westerner who comes to Tangier essentially to rediscover themselves, you know, in between smoke, hallucinations, drugs, all the drifters and the spies and the diplomats on the street and the hustlers. I think Tangier is the only Moroccan city that doesn't have hustlers, man. What's going on? Morocco, you're losing your touch. Mohammed Chukri, on the other hand, was the Moroccan writer who lived everything from the bottom of the Tangerine society. Let me put it like this. If Burroughs and company viewed the city as a mixture of hallucination and reality, the international zone of Tangier, the interzone of Bill Burroughs, Chukri, on the other hand, lived everything from the street. The same streets that good old Bill was looking at from his balcony, those were the streets that Chukri lived with his family, friends, everybody, when he was writing For Bread Alone. And it's important not to forget this man. Burroughs and company were visitors. It doesn't matter if they lived here for years, they were visitors. The interzone existed, but it existed in Burroughs' head, you know? I have to admit, though, it was quite the concept. So yeah, good old Bill looked for visions, while Mohammed Chukri lived the consequences. They do, however, have a thing in common. Both of them told the truth, you know? Doesn't matter if it was a truth distorted from substances or the pure realism in Chukri's case. At the end of the day, for people like Chukri, Tangier was nothing of the exotic place of that the foreign writers wrote about. For Chukri, Tangier was just home. And look at Tangier now, man. A marina that is developing, the port, all these cannons pointing at Spain. Anyway, we still have about 25 minutes walk to get to the train station, where apparently we are not getting a train, we are getting one of those shared taxis to go back to Fnidek and cross the border back to Ceuta. I will definitely come back to Morocco, man. We need to cover the football tradition of the country, which is huge. Flipping hell. And I think we need to come back to Tangier. I loved every second of it. Anyway, see you later when we get to the taxi. Bye-bye for now. So when I came here, I took the same cab from Fnidek together with another 6 people, I think, and we paid 40 dirhams per person. Now this guy is asking for 400. Bloody hell. That's 40 euros approximately. If I don't find a substantial amount of people go in my direction, I will try and go to another city, to Tetuan or something, and see if that works. Hi, this Tetuan?
Yes, it will.
Do you know how much it is?
Myself, I don't know, but I will tell you what you get.
Okay.
When I ask you.
Thank you. Hi, this Tetuan, no? Thank you. Do it. So this is the third taxi. This is go to Fnidek?
Middag, yes.
Very good.
You go with... Hello.
Hello.
Where are you from?
From Greece.
وين نيفو؟
So we are finally here. Look at this barrier, man. I mean, look at all this real estate that is not used. I wonder if this has to do with the border that's straight ahead. Coming back from bloody Tangier was a lot less straightforward than going there. When I went there, I took this shared taxi from here directly. There were many people who wanted to go to Tangier. But coming back here, it was a little bit more complex. However, we did meet people. We met Yusuf and his sister on the road to Tetuan, and we met Mohammed. We had lunch with Mohammed. Big up to both of them. So yeah, a glimpse of Africa behind us and the promise of Europe in front. Bloody hell, man, this alleyway isolating you from the world. Here we are then. European Union. Still in Africa though.